Right. Our last speaker before lunch. So Khaalid, you stand in between us and lunch.
Thanks, Julius. I won't be too long. Won't be too long. And in typical ICT fashion, I'm going against the grain. My presentation today is about the AI tools that the ICT team has done a bit of research on that we have used or tried and tested at the very least. So, as we all know, technology is evolving constantly. It's been mentioned countless times today. And at the first bit of, so to speak, AI that we've had an issue with is ChatGPT. On the flip side of the problem part of the issue, Khaalid and I have, or in collaboration with other staff members as well, have found quite a few uses for something like ChatGPT. For those who may not know, either here or online, it basically is a chatbot, so it's kind of like sending a WhatsApp message. You go onto the website, you register an account or set up your profile, send a message asking the system pretty much anything you want. Something, if I can put it in air quotes, new to ChatGPT is a personalized interaction where if you give the system feedback on an answer it's given you, it gives you a little hint saying memory updated. And from then on, it actually personalizes answers to best fit what it knows you like. It's been quite useful for us. We dabble in a little bit of mobile app development. We've asked the system questions about that, and it's quite easily to just copy and paste. Above and beyond that, it's also useful for things like marketing or reminder emails. And then, as we've just heard from Dr. Bosman, it can be used to answer questions that should not be answerable on ChatGPT. So I do apologize, my entire presentation goes against everything Doctor's just working with. So yeah, the next one is, for those who may not know, this entire presentation was enhanced with Slides AI. It is a very simple to use and a very small tool that you add onto Google Sheets. As we all know, we have access to Google applications with our staff accounts. You do a bit of a sign in on Slides AI. Oh, is that fine? Is that okay? So you sign in with your staff account on Slides AI, and from there you can actually enter your topic. So you can say, I have a topic, mine was embedding AI tools. You can either go from there, or if you have your own presentation and you just want a few images, a few, just a refinement of it, or maybe a different style, different layout, the tool will actually go online, look for related images generated by AI. It would look for maybe a different font style, a different theme, a design, layout, etc., and apply that to your presentation. So that is something that we actually noticed is quite needed at university. In a lot of cases, we have staff and students asking us, how do I make my presentation a bit more visually appealing? Is there an easier way for me to find related and supporting images that I can use? Because something that's not entirely known is that when you do a Google search for an image, you do need to, in the More Tools option, select the option that says commercial and other licenses. Because in cases where, I'm culprit, I have done it before, where you just grab an image online and it's not actually meant to be used outside of the website or the ebook that it was published on. So Slides AI does that for you, and it only uses free to use images and illustrations. Then, a big question we constantly get most of from postgrad students is there an easier way for me to do things like my citations, things like my research? Is there something that can assist me with it? And thus far, we have found 3 tools. 2 of them are still mostly free to use, and Ciect.ai has now become a subscription-based website, which is a trend with the amount of AI-based tools or websites that are available online. Things like Riverside FM, where a transcription tool was released as a free tool. It was taken over by another company and you now need to pay. They only give you, I think, 100 words for free and you pay for the rest, which proves that it basically renders it useless to us or to the normal user. So, the SciSpace, Cite AI, and the Research Rabbit are quite useful in the sense that they are easy to use. You navigate to the website. In some cases, it just requires a sign-in, and from there you give the website the name of the book, the name of the journal, sometimes even just the link to the ebook. It summarizes everything. It gives you options that says text summary, graphic summary, the references used, all of those things, and from there you can then basically just grab the information you need. One thing that, or another question that we constantly get asked is, when using something like an AI tool, ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, or for example one of these over here, how do we reference them? How do we correctly and safely use them? And do forgive us, but we asked ChatGPT that question, and it actually gives you an answer, and it says this is how you reference me. Another thing we've noticed is, I think it was University of Missouri and one of the universities in the UK that actually has a guideline mentioning all of those little tips and tools. And I think the guideline set up at university, or at UWC specifically, also has a referencing guide. So do keep an eye out for that. So, benefits and challenges. Benefits would be, look, in all honesty, AI is here to help us. It is something that's going to stay, something that if it does take over one day, I was nice to you. And there's quite a number of benefits attached to it. It makes life just that bit easier. It can be a beneficial tool in academics as well as for academia, as well as administrative, the administrative fields. However, the challenges imposed from what we've encountered is, number one, the cost related. In cases where you have a tool that works brilliantly, something like Microsoft Copilot, for example, it can give you an array of options and tools from just one click of a button. For example, a Excel spreadsheet with what's known as a pivot table. Just a jumble of information. Copilot takes everything, makes graphs, makes charts, builds 5 or 6 different pivot table styles in one click. Problem with it is, if we were to purchase it through the university, it's just short of 200 million rand for the year. So that's one of the bigger issues when it comes to AI tools. The next one would be data privacy. When using something like ChatGPT, and this has become a lot more prevalent recently, do not ask the system or give the system information which would not basically comply with POPIA. So don't give it any contact details, don't give it any ID numbers, anything uber personal that you don't want people in the general public to know, because it may just end up on someone else's search results or conversation with the system. And we all know that data selling is a real thing with data sharing. So on ChatGPT, if you entered your phone number, it may end up on Copilot one day. We aren't entirely sure. And then also, as I mentioned, biases. Okay, on ChatGPT, we can tell the system, be neutral, be biased. In some cases, students more so don't really realize that the answer is a lot more biased than they need it to be, which is how they ultimately get caught. So yeah. And then lastly, providing training and support to users. We have had quite a number of questions with, for example, AI-powered tools that Khaalid and I maybe haven't yet used or haven't been able to use, once again related to costs surrounding it. We do our best to try and cheat the system and download the illegal copy now and then, but I mean, it's not always something that's just there, that's a Google search away. So we do try our best, we do our best, and we try to stay up to date. yeah, future directions. Look, like I said, if AI does take over, I try to be nice to my laptop, although it does test my patience. But at the end of the day, we all know as much as technology and AI can evolve, it still needs a human. At the moment, at the very least. I mean, when it doesn't, it will probably be when we all long go and turn to ash. Hopefully. So at the current point in time, from what we can predict, training and support will still be needed, human intervention will still be needed, and ultimately, much like we've noticed students being caught out, it's because of a person, not because of AI. So we are still useful, we are still pretty needed. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening. We do publish monthly marketing emails, be on the lookout for those. And at any point that we find a tool freely available to use for everyone, because who doesn't like free stuff, we will be popping that in an email. Thank you all so much.